Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mini Daily, and today I am going to do a what to look for when buying a classic Mini. Where they rust, where they don't rust, which is nowhere, they rust everywhere, and just general things on, how to spot a later car. There's kind of a few people around that like swapping back and forward books and stuff like that for tax reasons and that, so just kind of what's the kind of differences between the two cars that I have here that hopefully you'll notice yourself then if you go to buy one and you're wondering why you're buying a 1981 car with an airbag or something like that. So hopefully you enjoy. What I'll do is, anybody that is watching or is subscribed to the channel and knows the workshop, there is a little bit of a difference. I've done a big clear out. Now I'll spin you around to this one. I'll move you back. Now, as you know, that is my MPI. Now I'm just going to point out, I'll leave you up here because I notice if I have the camera in my hand when I'm moving around, the camera tends to do a little bit of that. So I'll leave you up on the tripod, which is down a bit there. Okay, so NPI. Where do we start with these? These rust everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Places you think they don't rust, they do rust. The metal is a hell of a lot thinner than the older ones, so if you're buying one as a project, please bear that in mind. You have a tendency to blow through an awful lot more. Now the NPI, as you probably notice here, the radiator is at the front, so if you're going to buy one and the radiator is at the front, they move them here. The early ones, the radiator was at the side, so if you do go and you see the radiator at the front, there's a sign that the book has been swapped on. They rust around here. Any Mini will rust around here and up here. They like to go here. Both of my cars are gone in the exact same place. The same the far side. So we're looking in around here, up around the scuttle. As you can see on this, I have holes across this, which I'm not cutting the whole scuttle out, but that's not a today's story. They rust around the windscreens, the corner of the gutters and stuff like that. I've lifted this off already and my gutters are perfect, thank God. I'm going to have to put this up the passenger side because my driver's side door is gone. On the passenger side and the driver's side, this is kind of a how-to for both. So what you're looking at is the A panels. You're looking for signs of bubbling, which there's bubbling around here. This has been painted previously. It was rotten and they just put filler straight over it. Again, on the bottom of your doors is another known spot for them to go. I was lucky with mine are okay. There is a few minor blemishes, but you'll get away with it. Sills are known to go. If you go to look at a car and you see an oversill, which will be a lot further in than a normal sill will just go in here. So if you see them that they go in any further in near the first flute, it is at oversills and you are going to be in a world of hurt with them. When you take them back, you'll notice that a lot of the time they'll leave the original sill on and put the oversills over it for, well, not so much here because anything that is 40 years or older here doesn't require an NCT, but anything that's younger, that's why they slap the oversills on, is just to get them through a test. The other places they rust is bring it around this way. Is there. Right, the other places they rust, you have to put your hand in along the bottom of the doors and get them a good squeeze. Pull back the carpets, have a good look. As you can see in there, that is looking pretty bad. Now I do plan on doing it. You look for this as well, your cross member, to check, see if that's rotten. Again, lift up the back and have a look at the rear floors. If you are going to look at a car, I would suggest that you ask them, can you jack the car up or put it on a hoist? If they say no, walk away from the car. That's my advice, unless you're buying a project. If you're buying a project, it's a completely different ballgame. The MPIs, they love to rot around the bulkhead as well, so just catch your dash if you can and give it a good pull and just see if there's any signs of rust there. Now, this is pretty much every part of the car so far. Now, mini quarter panels, they love to rust. So what you're looking for is generally get your thumb and start pushing, and if you hear crunching, there's problems. Or if you see bubbles, a little bubble is going to mean an awful lot more rust. Now the other thing you can do as well is to put your hands in like this and give it a good, like that, just to make sure, have a good look. The other thing I'd probably suggest for you to do as well is bring a mate with you. Bring somebody who actually doesn't like the car that you're going to buy, because they will find every fault for you not to buy it. The other places as well is down along this seam here, especially on the inside with windows that open, because the moisture gets in behind it and rots that panel out. Now I'll try and swing these around to the boot. Or actually, here's an example now. Actually, there's an example now on this side. You see here, look, it's completely gone there. And you can hear it, I hope. It's crunchy there. But if you pull on the wheel arches, they're solid. Same here. There's rot down here. I cut this section out now. What I'm going to be doing is put an entirely new quarter panel on it. But again, door steps in here. You have a good in here. Inside the front and the rear, just have a good look in and around the arches and have a look. The front subframes aren't known to rust or rot because there's that much oil leaking out of the engine, it just preserves them. And the later, hopefully that opens a bit, on the later minis, from what I've seen anyway, there's a few YouTube channels I watch and there seems to be the same thing. They go here and across here, again it's just thinner metal. If we look in the boot, I'm going to have to take his off this. Yeah. If you look from the rear of the car, or the boot, have a good look in around everywhere, okay? As you can see there's rot. It's an MPI, they rot. Check your battery box. The battery box in this is fine, thank God. Check the seam in across here as well, they're known to go. And then check in beside the fuel tank. Other place they're known to go, and they're known to go here as well, along this. So check that. Check your boot for signs of rot. Again, I was lucky with this. But the other thing people don't actually check as well is the lower valance here. So give a good look at it and make sure everything is okay. Now that's bodywork wise on them. The mechanical side of it is, I'll just pop you back up here. Now, the mechanical side of it, the rear axle, the rear axle bushes are known to go. So what I'd advise you to do is just catch your wheel here and give it a pull, and just make sure there's no play in the bush here. Just check your general stuff like brakes and stuff like that. Engine wise, I think anybody that's going to buy a classic car, or indeed any car, they should know the basics. Okay, let's take this off here. Now, the other thing with these is an MPI has an internal bonnet release, which is in here. So if it does have, it's not the genuine article for an older car. Now, have here. There's an MPI engine. Now, as you can see, they jammed everything in. Sorry, with the zoom there. They jammed everything in there. Absolutely everything. So, the alternator's in a different position. They had to hire the alternator to put the radiator at the front. That's one way you can cop. Brake booster, later car. ECU, later car. Things for you to check on the engine. So, open that. Look at that. If there's any white in it, your head gasket's gone. The brown that's in that is, I'd say, just from years of crapping in it, it needs a good flush. The other thing you do as well is just lift this up. Again, look for any signs of white where there's nothing on that. Again, would warrant a head gasket. Start the car up. Actually, the first thing you do if you go is put your hand on the bonnet of the car, unless it's the middle of the summer, and check to see if they've warmed the engine first. If they warm the engine first, chances are it's cold start issues. Valve stem oil seals could be going on it, so she might blow a bit of fluid and start up and then clear herself out. So just make sure that the engine is stone cold that you're starting. When it's running, just check for obvious oil leaks and stuff like that. And make sure it's revving smoothly. If it's spluttering, popping and banging, it can be sorted, but you're going to be putting more money out, so try and adjust your price accordingly for it. Then bring it out for a test drive. So things that you're going to be checking on a test drive is going to be your steering. So what you do is you'd lift this down, rock your steering, see if there's any obvious knocks. And when you're driving, kind of make sure that the car isn't waving and veering all over the road. Check your brakes. They should work, obviously, if they're selling a car with a test, but if not, make sure your brakes work. Make sure the car pulls through the gears nice. Make sure the clutch is smooth, that the pedal isn't too high or too low, which might indicate then that the clutch is wearing out on it. So again, something else you'd have to factor in cost-wise. Other than that, the Mini is a great little car. If there's anything goes wrong, the parts are readily available. There is countless amount of Mini specialists in England, and there's a few in Ireland that can get parts shipped over. So don't be worried about things like, will I be able to get brake pads for it? Will I be able to get this for it? Will I be able to get that for it? 9 times out of 10, the consumable stuff, your local motor factors, if they're good enough, they will order it in for you. So my advice is, if you're thinking on buying one, buy one. But for the love of God, don't buy an MPI. Okay? Go for the older one. Go for the old school. Go for the cars. Yes, I own an MPI. Would I sell it? No. Do I love it? Yes. Would I advise anyone to buy one? No. Simple as. Hopefully that's kind of got you through what to look for when you're buying them, and hopefully gives somebody some sort of, confidence when they're going to look at a car, that they've seen this video and went, right, this is where I have to look. But other than that, I thank you again for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe please, because there is a good few that are returning that haven't hit the button. Just please hit the subscribe button. Please check out our Instagram page, which is MiniDaily87, which you'll see some behind the scenes as usual. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.